Welcome in, friends, to another episode on River's Flow. We have another gray day outside. The scene has birds chirping and buds blooming on the red maple tree outside my window, and the round swing that hangs from one of the branches has a gentle sway happening. Today's episode is a continuation of my story and my struggle to stop drinking. Today's piece is entitled Misplace Fear Victimhood. I don't need to drink anymore. When I stop fearing mistakes, I gain a new freedom to try the things. The things I fear won't work in my favor. The things I might fail at. Yes, the things I don't have enough time for. The things I'm not good enough for. Anything I have done and failed at before. And anything I haven't done yet. If I pray today for courage, I expect to be shown opportunities to be courageous. So let's talk a bit about mistakes being a part of success. Something happened in my workplace a couple years into my recovery, and it reinforced my beliefs that mistakes are folded into the essence of being human. They do not need to be avoided. There once existed a very loud version of me where emotional immaturity would have sent me into a tailspin of darkness over what had occurred. But today, I can share this experience without dismissing, while owning it and being accountable for my actions. I don't need to fall into victim mentality or shift blame just to feel better. That never worked anyhow. So, I unknowingly put an adult graphic novel into an activity bag on the bus. An older student caught it and brought it to my attention. Oh my God, I thought, I'm gonna lose my job over this, for sure. That was my initial internal reaction. As I kept driving, I told myself not to panic and to keep driving. And to ask calmly for the student to bring it forward so it could be put away. Fair enough, but that night at home, I could feel fear bubbling up inside me. So I decided to sleep on it, ask for guidance, and trust that I'm protected. When I woke up, I received an intuitive message. It was, if you take responsibility before it potentially escalates, you will come out feeling the victor. Turn myself in. You do it. And feel a sense of relief in doing so. When I returned after my morning route, I sent this email. Good morning. I put together a busy bag for the students on my bus. I filled it with books and quiet activities to keep them busy. It has been a great help so far. But I accidentally put an adult graphic novel in the mix without realizing it. An older student brought it to my attention and returned it to me promptly. I don't know what to make of this, but I thought you should hear it from me in case a parent is informed and concerned. Immediately following that email, I received a reply saying thank you for the heads up, and hopefully we don't hear anything. I felt a huge weight lifted, knowing that I took back my power and remained in the driver's seat of the situation. Honesty always seems to win these days. And I get to proceed with a sense of pride for having enough emotional maturity to, quote unquote, turn myself in. So, yes, the busy bag is a success, but not without mistakes. All I can say is, when I do the things and accept the mistakes, it all becomes success. And the best versions of ourselves show up one step at a time, one moment at a time. I don't think the world needs the word failure to exist the way it does in our vocabulary. I think everything we call failure are only choices that lead to consequences. We can expand in many ways if we learn from these consequences. I use the word failure to say, if we set out to achieve something and it delivers something unexpected, we call this failure. I'd like to think unmet expectations are simply mistakes. Failure to live up to a preconceived idea of what we should have achieved. There could be many reasons for this inability to see the opportunity to do better, or at least to choose differently. It's this lack mentality that keeps me stuck, likely many of you as well, when it is out of proportion and misplaced, especially keeping us stuck in self-destructive cycles. For me, it was drunken cycles. In those moments, I always wanted something of the people who demonstrated any form of pride, influence, or growth. And I think it felt more like envy than jealousy, because if I was jealous, it would mean I had something that I thought someone could take from me. But I didn't even believe at that time that anyone would want anything that I had. I wanted so many things other people had while I was drinking. I wanted their families, their businesses, their drives for growth and change, their gentle, loving attitudes, their appearances, their laughter, all of it. But I didn't believe I was worth any of it at that time. I had no sense of worth. I was either falsely inflated or completely deflated. I had no sense of direction and no sense of feeling at home within myself. Drinking took a bit of me each time I drank, until I was an empty vessel with a sick soul. For years, I remained stuck, afraid of straying too far from what seemed to be working. I moved through life mostly from a place of fear. fear of making mistakes. Many were made regardless. When I did realize a mistake, it was nearly impossible to admit any fault or take any kind of responsibility. Nothing really changed because I never made any different choices. Nothing changed until I found the desire to make new choices. I hadn't heard of the term glimmer until about a year into recovery from many things, but from alcohol in particular. Triggers and glimmers exist on opposite ends of the same spectrum. They are responses that we have to internal or external cues. And in my experience, a trigger will elicit reactions associated with fear, anxiety, stress, and anger. A glimmer will make me feel happy, calm, and peaceful. There is a paradox here, because depending on my perspective, attitude, and nervous system, one stimulus has the potential to go either way. It may even elicit both reactions simultaneously. When I stopped seeing myself as the victim, I could begin to see the glimmers life has to offer. For most of my life, all I could do was react unconsciously to the triggers all around me. In this mode, I was missing the glimmers that were also all around me. My untreated alcoholism lived with a reality that life was made of triggers and there was nothing I could do about it. I was triggered much of the time. I wasn't aware that there was anything to be done about this. Overhead lights could send me into an unmanageable state of discomfort and anxiety. So I drank. The way certain people spoke or moved through the world could spike my ballistic meter to an uncontrollable temperature. So I drank. The volume levels of things could send me into a rage. So I drank. If the sun was shining so brightly that it hurt, and so I drank. If the wind blew mightily I could start fits of shouting. So I drank. Life was either too big, too loud, too bright, too demanding, too stupid, too obvious, too confusing, too long, or too short. Life was simply too much of everything and not enough of something. This is also how I viewed myself in all these moments. I was too much and not enough simultaneously the whole of the time. I was living in a constant state of lack. There just wasn't enough for everyone. And so I could never have it. I didn't know what it was, but I believed it wasn't for me. I resented anyone who had a piece of it. Maybe it was a sense of peace, contentment, joy, patience, and ability to cope with life on life's terms. I have a poem about this shift that I'd like to share with you today. It was misplaced fear all along, until I learned radical self-acceptance. I would be afraid of being rejected until I learned to have my back. I was afraid of being abandoned until I learned the value of my opinion. I would remain afraid of what others thought until I learned to appreciate new beginnings. I would be fearful of painful endings until I could own my own power. I would be forever giving it away until I like who I saw in the mirror. I would remain afraid of being seen as ugly until I fearlessly started making mistakes. I would stay afraid of failure until my muscles grew from digging myself out of the mud. I would stay afraid of feeling low until I learned to get excited about change. I would be scared to leave old versions of me behind until I became my own best friend. I would stay fearful of being alone until I learned I am enough. I would be scared of my authenticity until I could feel the light burning inside me. I was always afraid of the dark until I remembered who I was. I was scared to meet life. I started to gain clarity of mind after I put down the alcohol. I could begin to notice the patterns of growth that were always there, just hidden from my awareness. Growth doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It thrives in the storms. Life changed when I truly started seeing evidence of this in my life. Life was always a storm of some sort. And when I step outside of victimhood, I see all the wonder and opportunities for new experiences that were always there to begin with. That's today's episode. In love and service, I'm River. You're listening to River's Flow. I look forward to engaging with you in the next one. Godspeed, source willing. May our hearts be open and our souls free. Thank you for being here with me today.